Good evening, friends. It's pleasure to talk to all of you, and it is a initiative taken by the Think India and to introduce young lawyers and prospective lawyers coming to the profession at the initial stage with the members of the bar. The subject which has been given to me is only the experiences in life, the difficulty which we may face, the steps we are required to take at the initial stage and subsequently also while remaining in profession. So far as my experience of about 40 years show, only thing which is a step which is in fact required to be taken by any person who is coming in the legal profession is to have benefit of the opportunity which is coming to him. Small things are required to be done in a greater way. If we will wait for an opportunity to do big things, we may not get opportunities sometime, and if we even get opportunities, it may not be even noticed much. If at the initial stage, when we are in virtually legal studies, even in law, we get opportunity to work as law interns, we are sent for moot courts extra also. We have to show our capabilities at that time. It should not be taken as this is just an exercise or just a requirement of the professional course that we are to do internship with some lawyer or to do attend moot course extra. This is an opportunity for the young persons to show their worth, that when they got an opportunity, they worked hard and have been able to get distinction in it. Opportunities, though even when we must avail all opportunities, even failures teaches us many things. It also points out the deficiencies which we faced, why we could not succeed, why we were not the topper or why we were not the successful person when we were given an opportunity. The weaknesses we come to know. Similarly, opportunities go on coming when we, in fact, complete our law and intend to join the legal profession. Initially, many time we get opportunity to work as law researchers. Now, initially, earlier, about 10 years ago, there was no such thing. Such opportunities were not there. Now we get opportunity after completing law to work either as law clerks. So at some places it is known as law clerk. Some places it is known as law researchers. And at that time, if we show our worth, we are taken very seriously in the profession subsequently also. If we just pass the time, then we are not noticed even while joining the profession also after completing our research period, whatever is provided 1 year, 2 year, either with an honorable judge, it can be with an advocate general office also, or with another institution also. It can be noticed anywhere, it can be ignored anywhere also. So we, whenever opportunity comes, we are to avail the opportunity, show our worth, and do the things, very small things, in a very efficient manners that we must be noticed that we are coming in the profession. Upcoming persons in profession are noticed by the senior members of the bar, by the courts, by the honorable judges also. So we must be noticed at the initial stage. Whenever we, even when we are working as an associate at the initial stage of career, when we appear at the initial stage of our career, and many of the times virtually the duties assigned to the associates in the beginning is to go to the court, get manage an adjournment. And as per my experience show, to get an adjournment is more difficult than to argue a case, because we, when we are asked to go and get an adjournment, we are not aware whether the judge will agree, what are the facts of the case. Many times we may not have even opportunity to go through the brief and suddenly are asked. But we have to, when we ask for a, go to a court, ask for an adjournment, we have to see that we are in a, before a court of law. We just go to the court and ask, I am seeking adjournment may not be sufficient. Even if you are being assigned a duty to get an adjournment, you have to find out that how you will be able to convince the judge that in this case, actually you need an adjournment. The senior is in actual difficulty, or there is another actual difficulty because of which the case could not be argued today. Because many times the judges ask the young associates who, when they appear, whether he is aware of the facts of the case, if he is particularly when he is working in a particular office, and then makes a request on behalf of the senior for an adjournment. Expectation is that you must be aware of the facts of the case, at least basic things. If an honorable judge wants to know, you must be aware of it. So you have to avail opportunity that if you are working in a particular office tomorrow, you may be asked to appear, you may be assisting in 2, 3 cases. You must be aware of the basic facts of the case and particularly the proceedings of that case, if not all the facts, because the judge will ask the first basic question, what for the case is fixed, whether it is actually for arguments or simply it is for filing a reply, summoning the other party just for appearance of the other party. These basic things before entering the court we must inquire and then enter the court, even if we are not aware of the facts of the case. If the case is fixed only for appearance, other party has been summoned, whether the service is complete or not complete, these basic facts we are not aware, the judge may not take us seriously. So the impression which the judge will gather that you are not aware of even the basic things of the law, of the profession and the practice. So we must avail those opportunity. Rest, virtually the working hard in the profession is virtually the things which we cannot forego. It's all the stages because we are aware when we study law, we study it for the purpose of examinations. But when we are in profession, we in fact study cases for the purpose of getting results in court. And in each case, we get an opportunity to put a new proposition of law virtually. So we have to continue to the study to present case in a better manner. There is no other alternative except to present in a case in a more better manner by working more hard. So we cannot take the things lightly. As far as the opportunity is concerned, we have a lot of opportunities now in legal profession. When I joined the bar in the High Court bar in the year 1982, the strength of the bar was about 300. And we were told that the bar is overcrowded. And whether you will be able to sustain yourself or not. And our answer was that since we have done law, we cannot even afford now to do anything else. So I will make my place. So virtually we are required to make place. Even today also, when we join the bar, the strength of the bar maybe 10,000, but lot of opportunities are also there. When we joined the bar, in fact, the daily cases before the courts were about 20 to, the strength of the judges was about 10 to 15. And the cases being fixed before the court was also about 20-25. No, strength of the in our court is virtually sanction strength may be much more, even working strength is near about 50. And each judge has more than 100 cases now to deal with daily. So with though the bar has grown, there's a large scale growth in the bar, large scale litigation is also there. So the opportunities are also much more now. So only thing is we have to make our place. Working hard is a necessary. Basic things which we are required to take is that when at the initial stage of the career, in fact, even throughout our career, we have to study the statutory law. When we are aware that the case is being to be argued, we many times depend upon the precedents on the subject, but we don't feel necessity to study the basic law. You are arguing a case on a civil matter, in fact, CPC. We don't try to read the statutory provision of the CPC, but we try to support our contention by 5, 6 precedents. But precedent go on changing it. Even a precedent which the latest one which we found was just about 2 months, 3 months ago. But where it may be changed even in a month. But the statutory provision will remain the same. It is the interpretation virtually which are the precedents. If the case relates to amendment of the pleading, the Order 6 Rule 17, unless some amendment is made by the Parliament or by the state legislature, by the legislature, etc., the statutory provision will remain the same, but its interpretation will go on changing it from time to time. A precedent which was just the latest one 2 months ago, it may not be latest one today. As recently we found that the Supreme Court was dealing with the matters with respect to reservation or OBC, other backward classes in panchayat election and municipal elections. The Supreme Court said that there should be a triple test is introduced now, that there should be in fact a commission's report with respect to each municipality with respect to reservation extra. If it is not there, then you cannot hold the make reservation. You have to hold elections virtually without providing a reservation for OBC extra. Those constitutional reservation will continue for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. But in a period of about 1 month, there are a number of judgments with respect to Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and others. On 10th of May, Supreme Court issued general direction that all earlier orders stand superseded, all orders of the courts, different courts also stand superseded. This is the triple test since reports extra are not there, compliances is not there. All the state governments, all the state election commissions must hold the election. But just after a week on 17th, the Supreme Court changed with respect to the same state with respect to, because that order was with respect to Madhya Pradesh. Same order was with respect on 17th, the different order was passed. They said the report is there. Is on 10th of May, the court was ordering hold election without reservation. 17th, the court permitted hold election by providing reservation. Similarly, the matter with respect to even Maharashtra is coming before the apex court in a day or two. So virtually statutory provisions we must be aware. Precedents with respect to interpretation will go on changing. Now with the fast growing period, even interpretations are daily changed. It was a period when citations or the precedent or decisions came to notice after months together. Now the moment any judgment is being delivered by any court at any place, it comes in the social media within minutes virtually. Even the oral orders comes on the social media immediately, and if the order is signed, you get on the social media by the evening. It's put on the even court websites, and the interpretation which you have seen yesterday may not be the latest one. Today's interpretation may be different. So the statutory provisions are required to be given more importance throughout by the persons who wanted to reach at the top of the professions virtually with the passage of time. And this is aspect is particularly required to be taken care of by our young associates who are joining the profession or who have recently joined the profession. By experience, we may be in dealing number of cases and we may be orally even remembering many of the statutory provision. Still, when we read a provision repeatedly, we find different interpretation can be given to those statutory provisions. So statutory law must be given more importance. And virtually when we see while performing our duties, as when if we are joining the legal profession, we must also do some social work virtually. It may be not be outside the profession, it can be in the profession also. Compassion is a part of the profession. If you have not compassionate approach in the profession, you may earn money, but you cannot call yourself to be a very good lawyer. Many of the person will come with difficulties. You have to show compassion, accommodate them, do better in their cases so that they feel satisfied. And many times the opportunity which we get in such cases brings us to the top virtually. And as regard the opportunities, I have told virtually when we joined the profession, it was being said that it is overcrowded. Even now, it can be said, but a lot of opportunities are there. Earlier, when we do law, the LLB, after the LLB, either you are expected to join the profession or join the judiciary, or were having many less opportunities to go in any other field. Now, in every field of law, the candidates with the LLB degrees or the law graduation get opportunity. All multinational companies virtually prefer to have law graduates, even in management, even in handling their legal matters. So they have a lot of opportunities in virtually all aspects, management aspects also. Even in government departments, virtually in all departments, we have now the legal complications, law posts of legal assistants, law officers, assistant district attorneys. So the aspect virtually prospects are also much more now in legal profession after we do LLB, and there is no limit to it. But as I said, virtually we have to work hard. So opportunities will go on coming it. There is no limit in the profession. That's what my experience is. As told, I being a first time in the family, being a first liar, I tried to make a place for it. Even at that time, we were told the profession is overcrowded, but I decided to join the profession and make a place. When I joined the profession initially, at that time, in fact, Shri Jagannath Kaushal and Shri Hiralal Sibal were the two topmost lawyers known at that time. And both, either one was in the Advocate General for the one state and other was the other Advocate General for the other state. In fact, Shri Hiralal Sabbar was have the privilege of to be Advocate General of both the states from time to time. And we being beginner, we were in fact expecting that we must reach at such a stage that we are known to the entire bar, to the entire judiciary of the states, to the entire bench also. Virtually, they were getting respect from it. And I was by that time not aware that I will be able to reach the post of the Advocate General. But I made a place. The God was very kind to me. In fact, the persons with whom I remain associated, they guided me in life. And virtually the even organizations I joined, virtually they made me to reach at such a place virtually. It is only by working in the social field also I got many opportunities by working in the profession with such persons who believed in the hard work and made me to work hard if I wanted to continue in the legal profession. And I got availed those opportunities, and virtually I found the result also. It is not sometimes the family background or other aspects may help, but these are not the exclusive aspects that if you belong to a family of lawyers, then only you will get an opportunity, or if you belong to a particular even high ups in the society, in the social field, then you will get an opportunity. Opportunities does come. It is only we have to avail or we have to make a place for it. But the endless opportunities are there. In fact, I can just give an example that in the office of the Advocate General, it was decided about 4 years ago to create some post of a law researcher. It was it for a period of 1 year. Few persons, 4 or 5% joined the office of the Advocate General. Though virtually when we are there, this is also a office which having some political inclination with the present government also. Among the many of the selection, the two candidates virtually were virtually known who the selectors recommended must come to our office without any recommendations extra. And both ultimately proved their worth. After they completed 1 year of their period of legal research, working as law researchers, I have to change the rules and get the rules amended that this period can be extended up to 2 years and permitted them to continue for a period of 2 years. Yeah, even after a period of 2 years, in fact, since those candidates have shown their worth, one of them is my associate in my office. When I see that The candidate can work to so much work hard can, and thought that I should not virtually lose such a candidate. If he is to join the profession, he must remain in my office. Otherwise, many times from many of the high ups, when recommendations come, I don't allow them to join my office. Say I am working for the government only, not much required. I am not doing much private practice, so not required. But the candidate made a place in my office virtually after working 2 years in the Advocate General office. Now the candidate is working in my private office as my associate. So that is virtually she was not even personally known to me or personally known to anybody in my office before joining the Advocate General office. No, all law officers know her virtually at any time when they put any proposition. She was always prepared with the reply and make research, immediately respond to it. That made her indispensable virtually. Similarly, opportunities do come in other places also. This is just example I recollected immediately because in my office it being there. So the opportunities are unlimited in the profession. We have to avail of it, but virtually working in the social society also is a part of our professional duties. Advocates are virtually known as the cream of society. We must not only confine ourselves to the legal cases we are assigned or to the legal or to the family in fact compulsions only. We must see what is happening all around us. We are part of the society. If we are not having concern with the society, then society will also not have concern with us with the passage of time. So all the problems which the society is facing, we must contribute toward that also. Maybe in while helping them as a law, working in the legal field or otherwise working. Many of the social things, as we know, there may be some social organization working in our mohalla or working in our professions, contributing to the society. So we must remain active in such organization also. We must feel concerned with our country also. We must see what are the problems being faced in the country from time to time. Many times we do comment on the politicians only, but virtually despite only after discussing matters, we may not even like to go for vote, or we may not like even to convince the people to vote either way or not to either way. Though politics may not be, we may not be directly involved in it, but all the social aspects of the society, we must feel concerned with it. We must remain associated with some organization, any NGO working for society, any NGO working for poor people, or any NGO working for the needy people. If we will not participate for this, then we will remain secluded in the society, confined to our legal profession only. That may not also be virtually good for to have a good personality in the life virtually. So my only, in fact, advice to our coming up advocates, brothers, associates, that there are unlimited opportunities in the profession, but we are not to wait for big opportunities to show our worth. Small opportunity, small case of a poor person, if you do in a more better manner with more and more efforts, so that may also bring you to the top of the profession with the passage of time. Similarly, to work for the society, you can do small work, and you must feel concerned with everybody. Studying, virtually working hard, since we are working in the legal field, there are many ways to work for the society. In fact, remain updated, updating now in legal field, not only technologically updating is also there. We can work in groups also to update ourselves on the legal aspects. It can be in the form of study circles also, or in even in the group, we can daily discuss what are the latest updating from the courts, maybe the local high court or the Supreme Court's the judgments come. We must discuss what the judgments say, the latest view of the courts is, because the all decisions now have social impact also. of the High Court. The decision may be of the High Court, or decision may be of the Supreme Courts. So we must also feel concerned, comment about it, discuss among our colleagues also with respect to that, and feel concerned that every decision is virtually also affecting our life also. So these are the few things I wanted to share with you, to work hard in the profession virtually. And there is no limit in our profession to reach at the top of the profession. Thank you very much.
Indeed, we are very grateful to listen to you, sir. Thanks for enriching us with your vast experience of litigation. With your permission, I would like to just take up a few questions because
Yes,
we
yes,
have been joined with the interns
yes,
from
yes,
across India. I would request the participants to ask questions either by unmuting themselves, or you can post a question in the chat box. I would take them up. So before we move on, I have a question. So,
yes.
so there lies a sense of insecurity amongst the students of premier institutes joining the profession, and there is a hush for joining corporate firms.
Can you please repeat the question, because there was an interruption in between?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. So I was just asking that at the time when we see there lies a great sense of insecurity amongst the students of premier and national institutes in joining litigation as a profession, and they have urge to join corporate firms. What message do you like to give to the young students and the fresh graduates who are about to land up in litigation?
My, as I have earlier said, if you wanted to work hard, there are endless opportunities in the legal profession, because we know daily the new legislations are being passed by the parliament, also by state legislatures also. And it may be the legislation to give virtually benefits to the common man, or benefits to the state subjects or the citizens, but in every aspects we know virtually it increases litigation also. It may be a welfare measure act, or maybe a controlling act, maybe taxation act, but it gives litigation. And virtually when I joined the law, I am aware of that. I did my graduation. I was having about 48% marks. I could not get admission in the large university, in the Punjab University. And then I started doing MA in political science, that I will do my best in MA and then will get admission. And then I did my MA with the highest marks, more than 66% in the first division. And later I came to know that virtually that for getting admission in the LLB, my only graduation marks are to be seen. Some benefit of the post graduation will be given. So even at that time, but I was determined to join the legal profession. Then I left and joined in the Rajasthan, did my LLB from Bikaner, and again came back and joined the profession. And there was none else in my family in the legal profession. But I ultimately, since it was a decision that I have to join the legal profession, I joined ultimately and made a place. So even today, we are aware that when admission is not given from one mark for one less marks, and somebody else is given admission, hundreds of petitions are coming every year now with respect to grant of admission to different courses in the High Court. When I did my law, nobody was aware of it, that for even getting an admission, if somebody else is being given and you are being ignored despite having one more marks, you can go to the High Court. With the people have now more right conscious also. They are aware of their rights also. Citizens are more awakened now. That increases the litigation. Many times virtually at that time, initial time, the people were having rights but not aware of that, and even avoided litigation. But now everybody with the passage of time are pressing for, if he has a right, he will come to the court also. And I have not now seen even I being a civil lawyer can tell any litigation started with in the district courts with respect to even a petty property dispute is taken up to the Supreme Court. Originally, in fact, many of the people were not even used to come to the High Court and ignore what to say about the Supreme Court. So, in fact, in litigation aspect, there are lot of chances, endless chances are there, but we have to make our place. For that, There is no other alternative except to work hard. And the in fact only thing difference between to join a corporate lawyer as corporate or to join a litigation is, in the litigation you have to work hard and to make a place after 3, 4, 5 years at the initial stages. As in any other business, when we join, we wanted to start any otherwise a family business, it will take 2 to 3 years just to understand the business. Or if we are starting totally a new business or any other new profession, it takes 3 to 4 years to settle, and that period is taken even in the litigation also. But in the corporate, you can earn from first day that you can get a salary, but there is no limit in the litigation. In a corporate sector, there is a limit. If you are being placed at one particular level of the management, you may after a particular time you will go on the higher level, and even reaching at the top level also. There is no comparison if you becomes a very successful lawyer in legal profession than to in a corporate world. In fact, in the legal profession, with the passage of time, you can earn in lakhs, but in the management, you have for earning a lakhs, you have to. It will take many years virtually, and there also virtually with the limit only. So there is a lot of opportunities. Person, the only thing is will be required to work hard, compete, but there is endless opportunities even now in the legal profession. So I will advise the young lawyers, they must, because it is the only field where not you only you can earn yourself or your family, you can do social work also for the society also. Many times you can help others also. You can participate in other legal in the society also in other aspects also. So the we must prefer to come into the litigation if we can afford for 2 to 3 years after completing our law graduation. So there are lot of aspects in the litigation according to me. I have reached from bottom to the post of the Advocate General, despite the fact being a first member in the family to do law graduation and join the litigation aspects virtually. I was not having any godfather virtually, but I decided to join the litigation aspects, and virtually I have reached it. So there is no limit in legal litigation virtually. It requires a patience, though no doubt that also is there in other fields of the life also virtually.